your liver has a voice. That might sound a bit strange if you're kind of, okay, my liver has the voice? Well, I don't hear anything. That's just because it's not loud. It's often not loud, and we haven't trained to listen. Nobody tells us how to tune in to our liver, right? Like, who told you, which doctor that you might have seen for the liver problems or gut issues told you to put your hands on the organ and then close your eyes and listen and just tune in or send some healing energy? Like, who's saying that? Nobody, right? Maybe some esoteric people, but then they don't know what the liver actually does, right? So what I'm offering you here is really this sweet mix between medical traditional knowledge and alternative medicine. So we are and your gut feelings. So it's a very juicy and wholesome combo, which helped me heal myself after 15 years with allergies and gut struggles, anxiety. And I really trust that. I trust you more and your body more than I trust my advice to you, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Oh, first time Chloe, hi. We have people from Canada, Josh, Mike from the Netherlands, Denmark, Maine, West Africa, nice. And Lithuania, amazing. I'm here right now in the Canary Islands, India. There's a problem with my mic. Is that? Oh yeah, okay, because it turns around, see? Because we changed the position. Let me try this. How is it now? Thank you for that feedback. Yeah, now it should be better. Because it turned up as upside down when I'm moving. I should sit like this and talk, but it's not my style. Okay. By the way, I have some eye rings here. Not much though. It looked worse than when I saw it in the mirror. I went out to the forest talking about liver healing. So the best and easy, most therapeutic thing for my body personally, and what I recommend to us as a group and as gut feelers, is to go out in nature. So I take it to the extreme then. I just go really high up, like 3 hours up into the mountains after an hour bus drive. And I sleep there without my tent, and make fire and stuff. You don't have to be that extreme. And sleep under the full moon. And then I couldn't sleep because there was so much light from the full moon. It was so intense. But I could see the whole forest in the night. It was like magical. And there was no sound, not even mice or birds or nothing. Bats were in the beginning when the darkness came, but nothing. It was like, wow, magical forest. And that for me is the biggest healing support. And that's for free, right? I just have to pay for the bus ride and then I walk. Yeah, and even just grass outside or plants, here my plant friends all around. This is one of the best plants to cleanse the air, by the way, from toxic chemicals. Snake plant, I really like that guy. And it's very low maintenance. Never complains about water. It's not like my cherry tomatoes out there who always want to drink. He's like, oh yeah, well, if you have a spare drop, give me some. Good plant, like you, good plant. Okay. Good, guys. So the first thing I want to say about the best liver healing routine, it's not about just blindly following anything. I want you to tune in and also see what's possible for you, what you can do. I hope you have something to write down, because we'll go through the morning, midday, and evening recommendations. And again, this is just my recommendation. There is so much more, when I then mention one type of fruit and then you ask me, but this other type of fruit is not good for the liver. I'm like, yes, probably it's also really good for the liver. But there is those are the things that worked for me the best and that I work with my clients and I get good results. We talk about supplements, we talk about food, and I also go into a little bit of the lifestyle choices. Yes, Stephen, celery juice. And remember, any questions for later, 3 question marks in the beginning and then the question. Okay, how are you feeling, guys? I mean, just one. You're just one there watching. How are you feeling about your liver? What's your relationship with your liver, if you have any? That's a question to answer or to tune in at least. What's You can share a word or a quality if you feel. Because the idea is, again, not just to absorb anything, but really just work on establishing that relationship. So, yeah, we're still on. So let me know in the chat box. I'm continuing. The thing is, when we talk about liver cleansing, which are often, I get these questions from clients, but also from our email, people who reach out from email, and then Maria tells me like, yeah, well, people have all these questions. And one of the questions often is like, well, where should I start? Should I cleanse my liver first, or should I tackle my SIBO or constipation, or I have adrenal issues? What do I start with? The best way to start is the liver, but also like the liver and any organ, it's not an isolated organ, right? It's not like you're cleansing the liver and then all the other stuff needs to pause. That would be traditional medicine, right? We give you this medication and then all the rest suffers. But what the good thing is, if you're really doing healing stuff, like deep healing things that are in alignment with your body's natural rhythm without being too pushy, but making offers, you know, no B12 injections or anything like that, then your whole body system benefits from your liver cleansing efforts. Let's put it that way. So the liver is not like that organ, we just cleanse the liver. No, you're going to have benefits all over your body, for your gut, for your hormonal system, for your mood, for your adrenal cortisol balance, energy, big one, energy often goes up when the more the liver cleanses, the more your energy goes through the roof. I mean, in a good way, not in this coffee anxiety way. So, just looking in the chat. Need a relationship with my liver. I love my liver. That's nice, Stephen. It's because you're such a long time gut feeler. That's why you love your liver, don't you? 0 alcohol in 2 years. Very good. Amazing. Don't really know. This is also very honest. I think you speak for a lot of people. At least lots of people I meet. And that was definitely me just a few decades ago. Because the interesting thing, if you want to cleanse your liver, you got to understand your liver first. Yeah? That is like a relationship. If you want to make love with somebody, you got to understand them first. Or like build a relationship with somebody. You can't, oh, I love you. Yeah, but I don't know you. Yeah, how can you love somebody if you don't really know them? So some interesting things about the liver is that one thing that I hear and that triggers me extremely, I mean really extremely, I'm not sure if you heard that from other people or maybe have been one of those trigger points for me, when people say like, yeah, well, this refers back to Stephen, by the way, I'm still applauding. Well, yeah, I'm just drinking alcohol on the weekend, you know, and then during the week, so my liver has actually something to do. And then during the week, the body can detox. I'm like, oh, I get like all crunchy up, you know. It's not our job to give the liver more jobs, like really not. The liver has medical medium says over 2,000. Traditional medicine now agrees on over 1,000 functions. When I studied medicine, it was 500 functions. So we're getting up. It doesn't get less. And the liver has enough to do. The thing is when we think about detoxing, right? We're detoxing the liver. It seems like that's something like, you know, like a 2 weeks effort once in a year. But the thing is, even if we would not be exposed to so much toxic heavy metals, chemical pollutants, you know, all of these things, inherited chemicals, like poisoning ourselves with artificial flavors and aromas and alcohol and aspartame and God knows what. Even if we wouldn't do anything of that, we would live in a tribe in Africa in a really healthy environment, close to a river with clean water, and you know everything super super perfect for the liver would still need to detox. That's like something I really wanna bring to you. It's not that the liver just detoxes all of the toxic stuff out there. The liver detoxes your inner waste as well. So the liver has enough stuff to do. Yes, we can tolerate some of those toxins that are coming from the outside, but it's a real job. And it's a job that takes away from other things. The thing about the liver is that it's not an organ that screams. You know, it's not like something you drink alcohol and then the next day you feel a bit sluggish, but then you think like, oh, now I detoxed, right? No. Even just not sleeping is really bad for the liver too. And the liver remembers everything and it stores it up and it doesn't say anything and it doesn't say anything. It's very, very silent in that way. Like it suffers and suffers and suffers and suffers before you get any symptoms, right? And when you get any symptoms, that means that the liver came to their maximum capacity, right? That it can't hold anything back anymore, any toxins, can't help you with the hormones, can't help you with the digestion, right? That's when stuff starts to bubble up, and that's when we become aware of it, right? And then we do a celery juice cleanse for 7 days and expect that now everything's healthy. No. So as long as it took to poison your liver, as long it's going to take to cleanse the liver. And it's something like if you just focus on one organ, focus on the liver. Focus on the liver. Because it's such a central organ that has impact on everything. It's for your brain, for your heart health, for your gut, for your hormonal health, your thyroid. It's all inclusive. Your blood, your cholesterol, it just doesn't stop. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Give me some feedback here because I'm monologuing. Please? Please give me some feedback, and then we're going to go into morning, midday, now, and evening routine, what I have prepared for you. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Okay, stuff makes sense, that's good. Any confusion in what I said? Anything like that doesn't make sense, where you feel like, that was too quick, or I didn't understand that. Again, if you have questions, put them. Great, sweet. Put them with 3 question marks in the beginning and then the question. Okay, so do you feel, this is a question for you, do you feel that your liver is connected to your emotions? Is there kind of a, like an emotion that is connected to the liver? A question for you. If you just tune in, you can do the test, just putting your hands on your liver, and just seeing if there's an emotion that would, that's kind of stored in the liver, like trauma. I will let you know. But it's also, like that's a general emotion. It might be a different one for you. So take a moment to feel into what's the connection between your liver and your emotion. We're talking about negative emotion in this case. Maybe good to say. Please tell us. I will, John. Okay. So one of the central emotions for the liver is anger. What really weighs the liver down, anger and resentment, as you feel like, I don't know where to get with that energy. So anger, because in our society right now, at least Western society, it's not really popular to just scream at people, which I appreciate if I'm sitting in a bus and the couple next to me has a problem that they're not starting screaming, then I'm really happy with that. But in general, if we always get that anger inside, right, and turn it against us, or just like swallowing it, it goes to the liver. And if you feel like right now, like, oh, Peggy, just tell me what supplement to take and what food to eat. Like, I don't want to think about emotions. Well, the thing is, it's all connected. And not just like in some kind of woo-woo esoteric way, but literally like what you feel has an impact on everything, on your hormonal system. And this is not esoteric. This is like Western medicine. You can find studies on Google. I mean, you can find studies for anything on Google, but it's very chemical. Emotions have a huge impact on our hormonal system. Our hormonal system impacts our immune system, and then the cascade just goes down, right? If your immune system is weakened, your liver is weakened, which has its own type, very specific immune system in the liver. So it's all connected, right? So if I, for example, choose to, if I'm a person who's very angry, but I'm not allowing myself to be angry, or I'm just shouting at people all the time, it's a good thing, to look at these aspects. Maybe you're just pieced out and this is not your issue and you still have liver problems, then the rest is for you. But I wanted to address the emotional part as well, because it's not always just the supplements and the foods and things like that. Make sense? And do you feel let me know, gut feeder, do you feel like you have a topic with your liver? I mean, you're here right now, you might be. And is there an emotion connected to it? It's a question. Ah, it's cute, there's a heart button. I also can press the heart. Can I? Check. Are you typing? Are you just thinking, just get to the foods, tell me the supplement? Stress, yeah, definitely. Thank you for mentioning that, Rodney. Yeah, exactly, angry. Yeah, from constant burning, exactly. And that's interesting, John, what John mentioned here. The cascade goes in both ways, right? So it's not just the emotions causing physical symptoms, but also physical symptoms can come back to creating emotions, right? If I wake up or during the day, constantly I have this burning in my stomach, I might get a little bit angry or frustrated or feeling helpless, things like that. So this is why when clients or myself, when I struggled for such a long time with issues, it's easy to lose the trust in your body, right? Or in my body. It feels like, oh my God, no matter what I'm doing, it's not getting better, right? I try this, and this lady over there on YouTube says that, and then I do this, and I buy this supplement and pay for that consulting. It's just not getting better. The thing with the liver in this particular case is the liver is a very, very dense organ. It's so heavy. It's like 1.5 kilos, 3 pounds. Huge thing, right? That's kind of, yeah, I just bought a kilo of cherries. That's 1.5 kilo of cherries. That's huge, huge and heavy here on the right side under your rib cage. So the more dense the organ is, the more toxins it can hold, the more it can absorb, right? The longer it takes for the organ to go into overwhelm. However, when it goes into overwhelm, the cleansing also can only be gentle. It can only be gentle, and it takes longer. This is really important, because I see people like, yeah, well, then we do the saltwater flush, right? Or the oil flush or whatever. And I'm like, no, don't tell me these things. Because I'm very connected to my liver. And if I just tune into that, it's too much. Like no part of our body likes kind of harsh mental idea of we're doing this now and I'm forcing that in and things like that. No, the body always strives for balance, homeostasis. Like this, you see that in your blood pH. It always needs to balance things, right? So it's very important not to do anything radical, because you create more stress in your body. Because then the body like, oh my God, now she just injected this thing into us. What we're going to do, right? We got to regulate the whole thing now. So that's why offering is a different thing from forcing the body. Saltwater flush, bad, really bad. Any kind of radical things, not good for the liver or for anything else. Yeah, the coffee enemas, neither. Neither. Frankenstein. Is there a problem with the audio again? Is there a problem with the audio again? I hope not. Blah, blah. Can you hear me? Just one. Let me know. I don't want to talk and then you don't hear me. Audio's fine. Good. Great. Okay. So let's go into morning, midday, and evening routine. And again, those are suggestions. Feel into your body. Maybe you want to hold your liver. Nobody's watching you. It's not like me, you know, everybody. You can just gently hold your liver as well. And when I'm saying things and you just tune into, does that make sense, right? There is a difference between what your head says yes to and what the rest of the body says yes to. So often there's like a barrier here where the head talks all the time and the body is kind of shh, 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 right? Don't say anything. Well, right now we're giving it a go to change that, to allow the mind to relax a little bit. So even if stuff sounds weird, but if you have like an internal response, like interesting. For example, for me, when I hear something that is really true for my body, I get like these goosebumps. Like I had like hair standing up. I'm like, huh. Even if I didn't understand the concept or I don't know much about it, but I know it's true for me in this moment. So this is something we are looking for right now. And if you don't feel anything yet, that's okay too. Maybe even just raising the awareness that there could be something other than talking. Okay. Cool. Let me have one drink. Yes, Sam, that's what I'm saying. It's always about gradual changes. So for example, the gut feeders who go for the 1 week gut healing challenge or the 1 week stomach healing challenge, that program, if you're coming from hardcore keto, carnivore, fat, extreme diet, and then you just, you buy all the supplements and you do from one day to the next, just completely implement the stomach healing challenge, not a good idea. It's too much. Like, it's just like the body's like, woo. You need the bacteria, for example, for digesting fruit, and the bacteria for digesting meat are different. They are not the same ones. So you definitely don't have the microbiome build up, for example, and that's just one little tiny piece of it. Build up for like a high carb, lots of fruit diet right now. And that might not even be the best thing for you, depending on where you are in your life. So, okay. Let's start with the morning. What do you feel would be a good thing to do for your liver in the morning? This is something I'm talking about a lot, so I know like at least a few gut feeders. I'm going to point out to Stephen right now, who's the ambassador gut feeder. What is a good thing to do in the morning for the liver in order to help the liver detox or cleanse? Because the thing is, the morning is precious. Like the morning is the best time to cleanse the liver. The morning and before bed, but the morning the most. Why? Because overnight, when you're ideally not eating, your liver has time for other things, right? Just like your adrenals and your kidneys, that's like their cleansing time. That's when you don't eat and you ideally don't have so much stress because you're not fighting in bed with your partner, ideally. Then the liver has time for doing the cleansing work. So the idea is what we do in the morning matters the most, because there has been this cleansing time, and then we want to prolong that cleansing time as much as possible. And also the impact of anything you eat and drink is higher in the morning because it comes to an empty empty stomach into an empty system. So to say, the system is more open. Makes sense, right? Oh, we got everything covered, right? Yeah, so we got the hydration part covered, which is amazing. So definitely, one thing that I like to do, and I actually do every day, even if I travel, I do lemon water. Lemon water, just plain water, squeeze a lemon into it, the fresh lemon, not the out of the package lemon juice, needs to be the fresh one. Gets you going, has enzymes, starts the detoxing process, also has some glucose, which is really nice for the liver. And yeah, basically gives, just imagine you give your liver like a morning neck massage, right? It's like, good morning, liver, good morning. How are you feeling? And this is what happens when you drink lemon juice, lemon water. And then this is the ideal scenario, right? I'm not saying you have to do all of those things, but the ideal scenario after that would be like 15 minutes later, you do the celery juice routine, aka medical medium, 16 ounces of straight, extremely boring, salty, ideally organic green celery, right? The celery stalks. I might have some for demonstration purposes. Magic! Peggy opens the fridge. There we go. Here. Jing! Tack. There we go. Those beautiful things. This is celery. I mean, I bet you have seen this before, but sometimes people ask me, is this the round celery, the brown one? No, this is the herb celery. And this is already comes cut. Here they don't have really celery on the Canary Islands, so they come already cut off with the no leaves and things. So I took this to the mountains, had some dates and those were my food in the mountains, very primal. So celery has so many benefits. I'm not even going into that. Celery juice especially, because it's a concentrated medicine. So you can watch any of the videos and the playlists that I have about celery juice on gut feelings. But just for the liver, it cleanses the liver and it replenishes mineral salts in the liver, and it also cools the liver down, just as glucose does, healthy glucose. It cools the liver down, it kills pathogens like H. pylori that might cause burning sensations, that might cause ulcers. It kills viruses. So these are just a few things, and it helps immensely with detoxification. It's for most people, depending on where they come from with their lifestyle, but if they had like a very, very hardcore fatty protein-based lifestyle and they do like 16 ounces of celery juice, they are in the bathroom like the first 2 weeks after the celery juice. And this is because there's so much sludge and so much stuff that has accumulated in the colon, and the liver also is like, ooh, wow, now we really get going. It's no problem if that just happens once per day. If, however, you get too tired or you get too many detox symptoms, it's good to take it slower, right? You can always do 8 ounces, a little bit less, 200 milliliters. It's not a race, right? As we focused on. Noted. Very good. Okay. And then in the morning, supplement-wise, what could you do in the morning that would be good for your liver, supplement-wise? Okay, I'm just answering that question from Halal Foodie Travel. Does cucumber juice have the same effect? Same effect as what? That you have to go to the bathroom? As cucumber juice, I love cucumber juice, especially for my one-on-one clients who, when they just see celery, they run to the bathroom, right? It's just way too intense for them. Then we pre-cleanse with some cucumber juice and do celery maybe just before bed, a few ounces. And then we do a few days celery, a few days cucumber. So cucumber juice is a good way to ease into liver cleansing as well. Also has healthy glucose. It's a good thing. Those are all foods, people. Spirulina and barley grass are amazing. They are foods though. And Josh got the nail. Got the nail? The hammer on the nail? How do you say that? I don't know. Yes, B12. I was referring to B12 because in the morning your body can absorb B12 better. And I like to use the one that has adenosine and methylcobalamin, the liquid form, which is extremely nice for your liver and for your nervous system. So it has these double functions. Yeah, I have more videos about B12 as well, so I'm not going to go more into that. But like B12 is an essential support supplement for the liver. And then fruit in the morning. If you can do fruit or greens, but most of us like fruit. So apples, pears, berries, wild blueberries, anything to nourish and really fuel the liver. Because when the liver has a lot of toxins, the liver gets hot, literally hot, just as your brain when there are heavy metals in there. So we want to cool down the liver. And one thing that does it is healthy glucose. Your liver needs healthy glucose to heal. Often the people with the low carb diet, like, oh, sugar is evil and stuff. I agree if we're talking about high fructose corn syrup or artificial sweeteners or anything like that. But you cannot tell me that the cherry that I just had from my fridge is evil, right? This is like completely... The liver and the brain, they need healthy glucose to be safe. Not just to feel nice, but to be safe. Together with mineral salts and healthy fruit water. Yeah, and oxygen, obviously. Breathing helps. Fruit in the morning, very good. The idea for the liver, if you want to support the liver and really do like a healing routine, you want to do low fat until lunch. Right? So until 1 p.m. if possible, no avocado, no oils, no Greek yogurt. What else could have fat? So fruits are the most friendly and gut cleansing and liver friendly food. So we can prolong that period of liver cleansing. Because when you bring in fats, the liver goes into, ooh, okay, another job now. And then it needs to produce bile in order for the fat to be dissolved in the intestines. So it's a hardcore job, and then other things like the detoxing was kind of paused, and then okay, we'll come back to that in the night. So make that window as long as possible. Chia seeds are high in fat as well. So I don't recommend them for breakfast. Divya, Anil, Kumar. Okay, midday. What we're doing midday. I'm going to go through the protocol a bit faster, so we have still some time for your questions. Midday, and in general for your liver, what is the one flavor? So we have like several flavors, right? We have sweet, we have salty, what else do we have? Sour and bitter. What's the one flavor that your liver loves the most? What's like, yay, give me that, and that we usually don't eat? What is it? It's easy. I just mentioned 4. Aha. So there we go. Bitter. Exactly. Lilian. Bitter it is. Do we like bitter? Who of you guys likes bitter? I don't, personally. Bitter is not something that we are kind of exposed to a lot. And often even foods that contain bitter things, they get kind of neutralized with more salt, more sugar, or grown in a different way so they don't have the bitterness. The bitter, the better. This is the motto of the liver, the bitter, the better. Liver likes bitter. Remember this resentment and this anger, right? If you have those strong emotions, bringing bitter foods in actually helps to regulate that. It's very interesting. I have clients who are lots of stress, lots of anger, like feeling very victimized by doctors, had bad experiences. Bringing bitter foods in, extremely soothing, very interesting. Cleanses also the body. If you have some ideas of what bitter foods can be, let me know. What could be a good bitter food to eat for the liver? What does the liver like that it's bitter? That is bitter. Querela. I don't know if I know what querela is. Give me some more. Neem leaves. As in radish. Yeah, the word was radish, that's true. I only know local greens. Dandelion, there we go. Kale, arugula, yeah, you know everything. Why are we doing this? Grapefruit, yes. So in general, greens, grapefruit is great too. Dandelion, arugula, mâché salad, herbs like cilantro, parsley, basil, all these herbs, oregano, bring them in because they support the liver to cleanse, and they also kill viruses. Lots of them are very helpful in killing viruses, killing bacteria, so helping you not just cleanse like from toxins, but also like making it harder for the bad guys, which are causing trouble. Another food that I'm actually eating once, like every 2-3 days, at least 3 times a day as a mono meal, is artichokes. Artichokes, the great thing about artichokes, apart from that they are really interesting, I like them, I eat them without salt, without anything, I just eat them like that, I mean cooked. The interesting thing about that is that they bind to toxins, that they help neutralize toxins in the liver. So if you already have a lot of toxins stored up, there are 2 ways the liver can handle toxins, right? Get them out, straight out through the bile, in the gallbladder and out through the toilet, or neutralize them, right? So neutralize them so when they go to the heart, to the bloodstream, heart, and through the brain, that they do not cause any damage. And artichokes help with neutralizing those toxins, which is great. Hi Lola, you are late, but still happy you're here. And then we mentioned milk thistle. Milk thistle is amazing. It is just really, 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 it can't be praised enough from my perspective. It's very liver protective, has very restorative effect, and great for detoxification. Has zinc in there, we got iron, what else? Ah yeah, selenium. Selenium is in milk thistle as well. And one of the good things about milk thistle is that it helps to restore the liver after chemicals, after medication, after toxic heavy metals, pesticides, which, let's be honest, we all have. Almost all of us have had the exposure to all of those things. And it also strengthens the digestive gut, the digestive system. So if you're dealing with IBS, colitis, Crohn's disease, really good to bring in milk thistle for all of those reasons. And when you get a supplement, you can either go to my shop, because I have searched the world for the best supplements and I just recommend them there. I don't sell any supplements. You can go to peggyshoma.com/shop. Link is down there, I think, in the description. And then you find the one that I recommend, and then you just find it in your country, right? The similar ones. Look for the active component of milk thistle is silymarin. So you want to have at least 70 to 80% of silymarin in the capsule that you're taking. That's a good milk thistle supplement. And of course, no toxic fillers, right? No stuff that shouldn't and does not need to be there. The other important supplement, apart from milk thistle and B12, is zinc. There is nothing more important than zinc. We need a bioavailable zinc. Liquid zinc sulfate, once per day, twice per day, 15-20 milligram of liquid zinc sulfate supports all of the liver functions and is critical for healing, especially from chronic diseases. Evening. One more thing. Oh, you prepared them. The evening. Again, questions, please, 3 question marks in the front. These are 6. 3 question marks enough. 3 question marks, and then I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. If it's an urgent question, use that super chat button so you stand out, or become a Gut Feelers member so I see you better. In the evening, what I like to do is go for sulfur-rich vegetables. So anything from the brassicas family. because sulfur, again, is amazing for expelling poison from the liver. And it helps to really draw out these, whatever we got in there, to bind to it. So sulfur is a component that binds to toxins and then brings them out and really helps the liver with that job. And brassicas family, we're talking Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and all of these things, they are a little bit bitter, if you have noticed. So these are things that I do in the evening, like steamed or roasted with some potatoes, sweet potatoes, whatever I feel like if I am really hungry or I go to the mountains. Yesterday I wish I would have done that to eat some avocado before because I was so hungry in the night with my celery sticks. Oh, you have seen me suffering. I just had a few dates left. I was like, oh, if I eat them now, then I don't have anything in the morning because it's like really far away, you know, from civilization, which I also like. But yeah, I was eating my own flesh. Yeah, and then before bed, an herbal supplement, an herbal tea. So dandelion root, lemon balm, really nice for killing viruses and toxins and supporting your hormonal balance, also to calm down better, really relaxes the nervous system. Really like that. I have that here actually. Dum, 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 dum. The demonstration. Here we go. You see this? I have a lemon balm plant here. I just ripped this off. Oh, it's okay. I'll have my lemon balm tea tonight. Okay, and again, like lifestyle-wise, one of the best and most important things is the stress. Stress and your emotions. Like really looking into, what emotions are you experiencing? Are you addressing them, or you're just like storing them up, right, with the toxins together in the liver? Okay, how was that? Let me know. Was that helpful so far? Was that helpful? Cool. One person found it helpful. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Feedback is always good because I'm doing that for you. You know, I don't particularly enjoy talking to myself in any way. Okay. So we talked about the milk thistle. Now let's look into your questions. Again, if you have more questions, 3 question marks in the beginning, and if they're liver related, even better. These Flower Lab. Is it possible to wean off PPIs and cure ulcer without PPIs? I developed GERD on PPIs. Yeah, sure you did, because PPIs are the worst thing you can do. But sometimes, depending on how advanced the ulcer is, and if you have a naturopath close to you, or if you're just DIYing it from people talking on YouTube, sometimes that is the best first option. The problem with PPIs is if you take them over a longer period of time. So what you can do, these Flower Lab, really the celery juice is going to be your best friend here. Because celery juice also helps with the ulcer, what causes the ulcer. Because there's a reason the stomach does not just develop, oh yeah, today I'm feeling like creating an ulcer. No, that's like when the body comes to a challenge that it can't solve because of how we live and because of how we feel and how we sleep and all of these things, then the body develops symptoms, right? But not just because, yeah, I don't know, feeling like an ulcer today. No, there's a cause for it, right? And a lot of the causes for ulcers are actually low stomach acid, which doesn't kill the pathogenic bacteria. Pathogenic bacteria and viruses produce toxins which are highly acidic in the stomach, but it's not the same as the good stomach acid. The good stomach acid is there to kill those bad guys, right? It's like a barrier. Like our mouth has enzymes that kill viruses and bacteria, and so has our stomach. It's like a second barrier. And our skin, by the way. So for you, celery juice would be the most important thing, like twice per day, in the morning and then before you go to bed. 16 ounces, pure. Okay. Let's see, more questions. Oh, that's a classical one, as we talked about celery juice, Chloe. I have not tried the celery juice yet. Can I make it in a regular blender? Not recommended. For the simple reason, because if you blend up celery, you need water. You need to dilute it. And celery juice really works best as an undiluted, strong, potent medicine. It's important. You get most out of it if you use a slow juicer, where you just put it in and then all the pulp got separated and all the juice comes out. There are cheaper options which work as well, especially if you're not ready to invest yet so much. Totally fine, but I do not recommend a blender. Then you can also just eat it like that. But the idea is that you don't have the fiber in there. So your body really gets like the whole full medicine and doesn't have to do any digestive work. Of course, during the day, if you feel after your celery juice, doesn't happen often. I feel like having some celery like this, or in the salad, great, right? But that's not the same intensity and it's not the same medicinal properties as we're talking about here. Okay. Sharon, this is a common one, I think. Maybe other gut feelers can relate to that. I'm trying to eat high fruit, but don't feel satisfied unless I eat fat. How much calories should I have been consuming to do low fat and low protein diet? So the one thing you're never going to get from me, even if you squeeze it out and even if you pay me thousands of dollars to get my one-on-one consulting, one thing I'm never going to tell you is how many calories. I'm just not doing that, because that goes in the same direction. I ate my 1,500 calories or my 3,000 calories, and I'm still having this. You know how much you need to eat. Your body needs that. I do understand your question, Sharon. This was more like a general speech with the calorie thing. I have heard that before, and that's very common as well, that you don't feel the satisfying effect. One thing you can do is, like, you do fruit, and then you do the vegetables, and you bring in salad, like salads where you chop stuff down, but then you bring in a dressing that has a little bit higher fat. So, for example, avocado lime dressing, avocado parsley lime dressing, so making like a nice herbal dressing. Also tahini is fine, which is grounded up sesame seeds, ideally unroasted, which bring in, a few nuts if they're nicely soaked. Just if you can, and you can make it unsatisfied through the morning until lunch, that would be good. And then bringing in some slow fats. Also, it's not for everybody. Like, high fruit diet and just high fruit is not for everybody, depending on your lifestyle, depending on what's going on in your body. Sometimes, and actually often, it's too overwhelming. It's too cleansing. So then more potatoes in the evening, more sweet potatoes, more root vegetables, squash, really nice, very, very good for the liver as well, and for your digestive system. And the avocado, maybe some spirulina, which is a high protein food, but a very easy digestible algae, blue-green algae. So that's something you could try. Chickpeas are very, very satisfying as well. Cooked chickpeas, hummus, lentils. Yeah, let me know if that helped, Sharon. Okay, let's see, more. You have a similar question, Davia Anil Kumar. How much protein do we actually need? What are the best plant sources for protein, especially when trying to heal H. pylori and gastritis? So for you, watch that video. I have a video on best plant-based protein on gut feelings. Just put in plant-based protein gut feelings, then you will have all of that. For H. pylori and gastritis, I do go for spirulina. Spirulina and not too much chickpeas in the beginning. Spirulina would be your best friend. Also, everything has protein, right? We don't call it that way, but almost every food has protein, especially vegetables. Salad has protein. It's not that you have to eat the protein in order for you to build muscle, right? How much protein do I eat? I'll just listen to my body and to my gut feelings. I do not, you know, focus on like, oh, I'm going to get my protein shake and my powder. It's just overwhelming. You need the amino acids, not the protein in it by itself. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Marilyn Metcalfe. This is also something I think a lot of gut feelers can relate to. I'm 68 years old and critically underweight. I eat fruits, vegetables, potatoes, sweet potatoes, legume, quinoa, millet, and small amounts of seeds. No animal dairy, soy, gluten, corn, which is great. Marilyn, I also would recommend you to check out a few videos that I have about how to gain weight while you're healing your gut. One of the foods that are, like for me, they are like a miracle food because they are high in calories, but they don't weigh you down, or they don't slow down the healing journey in the way that dairy or eggs would do, right? They work against actually. And that's coconut. If you can get your hands on fresh coconut, I mean, we're talking about the water, like the real coconut, right? So you can separate the water, drink that in the morning with lemon water, with some lemon squeeze in. Happy feeling, very nurturing. It's like blood plasma, the same, has a very similar chemical structure to blood plasma. And then the coconut meat would be with the salad or in between as a snack. It's high fat, but it's very nurturing, especially for people who need to gain weight. And combining that, for example, with some lemon juice on top of the coconut meat, the fresh coconut meat, and some potatoes is a really, really good combination. So that's one thing that you can do right now. Okay, it's scrolling down a little bit. Oh yeah, there were a few things about cacao, so I'm just coming back to that one. Thoughts on daily cacao drinking for liver? Please not. I understand that cacao, you know, is extremely tasty, and the chocolate, even if it's, you know, like it's vegan and 100% cacao, but it's not nice for the liver. Like that idea, I don't know where that comes from. There are some antioxidants in chocolate, but it's not worth it. I'm not saying, you know, never in your life ever have chocolate again, you know, where the events that I attended here, like the ecstatic dance, you know, in Mexico and in Panama and Peru, they all do like ecstatic dance with cacao ceremony for heart opening and mama cacao and stuff, which is nice, right? But cacao is extreme. It's like, it's a different form of coffee, right? It's highly addictive. It triggers your adrenal system. It's roasted, so it's harsh on the liver. Anything that is roasted is harsh on the liver. Even roasted dandelion tea, but it's not the same, of course, you know. But coffee is very acidic as well. Dandelion tea is not acidic. I do not recommend coffee or cacao, also not coffee. Do I never drink cacao? Of course I do. I also sometimes drink coffee. Yes, I am a human. But I do it consciously, and I would never, like, I don't want you to think that this is a good thing that you can do for your liver. Like that, not. I have a video on cacao. Watch that. Cacao and chocolate, is it good for you? And I think that would be very helpful for you to see. Okay, we're running out of time. I'm doing one more question. Josh, just because you mentioned it, is it okay to add turmeric to the lemon honey ginger drink? You're referring to the video, right, that I recorded? I'm gonna get you something. You can still hear me, right? Because I'm walking with the microphone. Where are you people? Here. Look at these guys. Know what that is? No, this is not ginger. Yeah, the skirt is nice, huh? Yeah, I like that too. Oh, you see the dirty fingernails. That's not the idea. I just come out of the forest, okay, people? So this is turmeric. This is fresh turmeric root. The best way to completely damage your kitchen is to open this and then just let it sit there. This stain never gets out. It's really like, ah! So, but that's beside the point. Turmeric is amazing for your liver. Anti-inflammatory, so rich in all kinds of phytochemicals, which are antiviral, antibacterial, da 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 da. Comes from the ginger family. The powder works just as well. I like raw turmeric just because it's available here. And I actually do blend that up into with lemon and garlic and water. What else did I put in? Lemon, water, garlic. Yeah, and ginger and turmeric. It's a revelation. Sometimes I have brain fog when I worked a lot or I didn't sleep well, and then I do something with turmeric and ginger and lemon. And I'm like, aha, now we're talking. It's a whole revelation, really. So definitely can add that. Thank you, James. James said I'm the best. Thank you from the UK. Thank you from the Canary Islands. Thank you for watching. Okay, guys, I know there are so many more questions. We'll do this again. Now I have Wi-Fi, so we can do live Q&As again. I really enjoy that, connecting with you. Fresh raw turmeric, yes. Thank you for joining. I hope this was helpful. If you just have watched just a little bit because you joined late, then you can always, watch the replay. And yeah, I wish you and your liver a beautiful afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is in your time. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.